All right. Speaking of Wombat, we've got a UAP update.
Boy.
Douglas, frappe ça.
I just wanted everybody to spend a minute looking at that picture.
Dude, that guy's 6'6". I didn't know that until I read this article. That's a big dude.
He is big.
I take back anything negative I may have highlighted.
Is that Fravor next to him?
It's Grush, Gorsuch,
It is.
Fravor, Gorsuch, and Grush. Is it Grush?
I do
Grush.
like that they picked that photo. Could he have any less
Well, it is the Washington
crazy
Post.
of the what's with his eyes? Like
He's an alien, dude.
Drew
I think he knows
Anger.
exactly what. I think he knows exactly what he's doing.
Drew Anger sounds like a Reddit commenter.
So,
sounds like.
sorry, Mark, mover.
Sorry, go ahead.
This is behind the scenes of a UFO whistleblower's odd visit to Capitol Hill. Former intelligence officer David Grush met with YouTube creators to share more of what he's heard and what he believes. He, let's see, where does this lead in? You'd expect him to be swept up by a posse of national security pros or old school publicists. Instead, he squeezed into the back of a dark SUV with a pair of YouTube creators who had the air of intellectual frat dudes. Amar Kandil, 29, a founder of Yes Theory, a digital storytelling collective with a huge fan base and an array of affirmational stunt videos. And Jesse Michaels, 31, an investor in Peter Thiel's technology ventures who hosts an interview series with heretical thinkers, such as cosmic philosopher Jacques Vallée, on whom Steven Spielberg based a key character in his 1977 film Close Encounters of the Third Kind. The whistleblower and the influencers seemed like natural collaborators. Yes Theory's motto is seek discomfort, and Grush 36 was about to make Washington uncomfortable. Let's see. The documentary's subtitle is 7 Days with the Man Claiming Aliens Exist Under Oath in Congress, although Grush's purported knowledge is secondhand and he's offered no hard evidence in public. To Kandil, this is sort of beside the point.
Can I just say that this guy specifically said, like, he has not given any information, nothing solid, yet he got on Rogan. And no offense, mover, like, I've said nothing, and I'll go on Rogan tomorrow and say nothing. Like, I don't understand why this guy's got so much airplay.
So
if he hasn't said anything.
And that's the part I wanted to highlight. Since July, so this is the important part to me. He has been portrayed as a kook, a conspiracy theorist, a peddler of scuttlebutt. Last month, NASA's administrator Bill Nelson, while unveiling a report on UAP that found no evidence of extraterrestrials, said there was a lot more to learn on the subject. But then, when asked about Grush's testimony, he belittled it as the equivalent of saying a friend has a UFO locked up in a warehouse. The deeper you get into uncovering UFOs, the more almost all of this feels like an intergalactic game of telephone. Author and UFO researcher Garrett M. Graff told Vanity Fair after Grush's claims were first reported. In August, The Intercept dug up a 2018 incident, and this is where I think this is kind of BS. Grush was committed to a mental health facility, suggesting that the Afghanistan veteran's post-combat demons might cloud his judgment. David Grush has this intensity, and we know the type, said retired Navy pilot Ward Carroll on his YouTube show. How come they didn't quote us? Referring to the military administrative ranks, adding, sometimes they're a little eccentric. That's a lot coming from, never mind. Grush, who declined to be formally interviewed for the story, is portrayed in the documentary as a man on a diligent mission. Hopefully I can make a difference, he says. He doesn't want to be that guy. Will inspire more people for the congressional hearing. After the hearing, Kandil posted a cryptic message on his personal Instagram. Hey, I'm doing a meetup tomorrow around UFOs. If you had one question to ask at the hearing, what would it have been? The next day, it was a true public hearing. Are we safe as a human species? So that's the part I wanted to get to, is that nothing has been corroborated. Like when it all came together, he says all these things and he says, well, we have to go in the back. We have to go in the vault. And he doesn't have a security clearance. He actually got it back, from what I understand. But they didn't talk about anything open source, and it was all third party. Wags, you and I talked about this a little bit, and you said, I've got opinions. Please go.
Well, actually, not too much more than we talked about before, but this, to me highlights again that everything is second or if not third hand. He hasn't, proven a single thing. And, with this most recent article, I'm at this point waiting for him to make the book announcement.
Yeah.
Well, it's not knock trying to get book deals for a second. That's really what I'm trying to do there too. But
Wags, the reason I think it's important, like what you have to say, is because you spent quite a bit of time in the intelligence community. And to me, if you've got need to know access and you find something, there are specific channels you go through. And this ain't it.
Yeah. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like you said, there are outlets in the intelligence community that you can go to. And for whatever reason, he didn't do that, or maybe he felt by doing so would have invalidated the story that he wanted to perpetuate.
Yeah. Well, because even the IG, so Inspector General, which he talks about going to, there are specific channels for classified and there are specific channels for unclassified. And you're not supposed to cross the streams. Like, you're not supposed to go to your congressman in an unclass environment and go, here's all this classified stuff. Did you know about it? Because they have to be read in. Not that they can't be read in, but they have to be read in. And there has to be a specific place that you talk about this. So he's skirting a very fine line with the classification levels, because he's out in public and they're like, well, he said it under oath. But he said a lot of vague stuff under oath that if they prosecuted him, nothing would happen, because he's like, well, I said, to my recollection, this other guy said it. So it was kind of like, I don't know. I'm not saying there's no aliens, Wombat. I'm just saying this is
only one of us knows for sure.
You did that to yourself. Whatever happens next is on you.
Hopefully it's a call from Rogan, and I'll plug your book, and that's how we work.
By the way, I just finished writing a book on aliens, so I am an expert. Thank you.
Perfect. Allegedly, according to somebody else, because you have to skirt the lines of what you know as well. That's the thing I have a problem with.
I talked to Wombat for all my insider information. Go.
Perfect. I'd like as long as I can put a review on the back, it'll make the book be perfect. So
he stole my story.
Is this fiction? I don't even think it's fiction. It sounds real.
Wombat plays a female F-16 pilot. Never mind.
It's the thing that's an issue with all of this, and we did this when we talked about his testimony the first time, is that it's so many words but nothing said, and it's like, dude, come on already. And I get it, but that's the world we live in nowadays. That's what people want. They want clickbait. They want to hear what they want to hear. They want to get excited about something because it takes their focus off of all the things that they're not doing good in their lives that they can actually control.
So you're saying it's self-serving. He's self-serving.
It's very self-serving. Yeah. Very. And he will likely go on and probably make good money or some money or whatever because of it. And it's like, dude, can people not see through this? Like, there used to be a time when facts matter. Like, that used to be a thing. Like, and it's just not anymore. You can just report on anything. And we've talked about this movie.
That's the problem I always had with Sex Fravor. It felt, or it feels so self-serving in the sense that it just doesn't sit right. There's something that just not quite right, especially with the unauthorized disclosure of, now I'm not saying he did that, whoever unauthorized disclosure of all the HUD tapes, which are classified, which there's a process, there's a reason they're classified. I see these public comments are like, well, why are they classified? Well, because the displays are classified. They have to, you can't, as some might know, if you take your tapes home, it's a bad idea to just burn them in your dog bowl. There's an actual procedure that you have to do. And there's a lot of stuff that goes into that. And just throwing the video up and saying, well, I don't know what this is, and you don't either. And the best part is the appeal to authority fallacy. When people go, well, he's a fighter pilot, he knows. I'm like, dude, I don't have any UAP training whatsoever to identify what spaceship, alien, country, planet that things come from when I see a blob. Ask me how I know, because I thought a couple blobs on a FLIR were bushes and turned out to be a herd of cows. So
mover.
Yeah, I mean, and those poor cows lost their lives that night because our flight thought that they were bushes and not cows.
It wasn't until just your jet.
Both of us. No, because I was saying good hits, Juan. Good hits. You got him this time.
Yeah.
Those elusive bushes, cows, they're tough to get.
Those bushes are because it was a convoy. It was whatever. Anyway,
I love it.
It's a fog of war. It's a fog of war. You can't carry it. Nobody's going to judge it.
Avon Park.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Do it, Wombat.
No.
Tell me what you've seen. The truth is out there.
It is out there. Right.
We've done so many big announcements. You've already admitted other stuff that you probably wouldn't have otherwise admitted. Tonight's the night.
No.
While
Just
everybody's
fully
watching,
come out of the closet, dude. Fully out.
No.
Hello, my name is Wombat, and I'm a captain.
I am a captain.
I'm the captain. Wags, any parting shots on this before we move on with our show?
No, I just think there's a financial aspect on this. I think eventually it's going to come out.
Perfect.
Yeah, Mover and I were on the same page. That's why I highlighted all the stuff about suddenly he's involved with fringe YouTube influencers.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not fringe. We're mainstream.
Also, I could answer your question on why they interviewed a quote from one person and not you, Mover, but we could talk offline about that. When you asked why did they not
talk online, do it. Let's just air our grievances.
When you were referring to another podcast and you're like, why'd they interview him or quote him? And it's like, well,
because he gets more views. Sad.